So today we are proceeding from where we stopped on Thursday, sorry. We are just proceeding from where we stopped on Thursday, and on Thursday we stopped on, let me just share the screen. On Thursday, we stopped on Forex participants. And by now, you know how powerful these Forex participants are, okay? I think those who attended the class, you really go to understand that it is quite difficult for you to trade without the knowledge of who are the Forex participants. Just to recap, down there on the chat, don't mention one. If you mention, tell me who are the Forex participants. Let's just mention as a recap, then we start on what we are supposed to cover today, which is when to trade Forex. So tell me, who are the Forex participants? Who trades Forex? Type down there on the chat. Don't just type one. The minimum should be 3. Forex participants, we mentioned about 6. Let me see. We were attentive, we were following that in the previous class. Just doing a short recap. Let me see. If you mention one, I will not read your comment. I will just focus for those who have mentioned at least 3. Tracy Wambui, government, retail traders, central bank, correct. Esther Sherin, hedgers, speculators, financial institutions, correct. Okay. Emilia Buga, hey, you people are posting so fast. Emilia Buga, financial institution, hedgers, speculators. Felisa Ngugi, financial institution, government, hedgers, central bank, me and you, correct. Kevin Kiplimo, retail traders, hedge funds. Magdalene Kabwana, financial institutions and the government. Dominic Otundo, very consistent guy. Government, central bank, financial institutions and retail traders. Martin Majimbo, hedge fund, big banks, government, retail traders. Eliud, government, central bank, hedgers, retail traders. I want to see a person who has mentioned all of them. I think it's Gloria Mutua. Central banks, governments, hedgers, speculators, financial institutions, me and you. Collins Juma, government, banks, hedgers, financial institution, run, government, retail traders. So I think we are still aware of that. And actually, government, retail traders, financial institutions. So I told us that these are the key Forex participants. Already we have mentioned them. We have said we have governments. So as I'm writing them, tell me how the government and central banks affect the market and how can you avoid them. Type down there on the chat. We said government and central banks. Okay, governments, central banks, we say financial institutions. So at least choose among the 3. Tell me how the government and central banks affect the market. Then you told me about, you also tell me about the financial institutions. Just a recap, then we proceed. Then we talk of hedgers. Then we talk of speculators. And lastly, retail traders, which is ideally, retail traders as ideally me and you. So tell me how governments affect the market. Down there on the chart, I will be seeing if you are at the same point. So tell me how they affect the market. How do they affect the market? Let me see. Collins Juma, they influence the market. How? Avoiding currencies with the news. Why? Khaled. Felisa, they control inflation. Yes, central banks, we say every country has a central bank, and central banks control inflation. Remember, if they do not do that, if they don't do that, it will ideally affect the economy very badly. Who else? Machocho, the government affects the market because they control it. They are market movers. They are not ideally market mover. I want to see that point. I don't want anybody to unmute, but type. I've given you a minute. Let me see Machocho, not Esther Sherin. I think you joined us along the way, but you are very determined. Government and central banks are major players. Control inflation, and also they control smaller banks. Correct. You can avoid them by reading news. Correct. This one, I think, Esther, you have answered very, very well. So Joshua anasema through regulations controlling inflation. Mimi sioni screen. Are you able to see my screen? Is the screen visible? Emilia Buga, government, they give out negative or positive report. Central banks control inflation. Abuga, correct. Yes. So we said any report. Are we able to see my screen? I believe you are able to see my screen. Are we able to see my screen confirmation as we proceed to what we are supposed to cover today? Just confirm. Yes, people are confirming that the screen is visible, which I think is very, very important. There's a person who has not muted the mic. Brian, if you're in, make sure that be checking time to time, because we are recording this session and we want to ensure that even the person who has not muted, in case you go and watch later, you want a clear video or a clear sound, so you're able to understand what we have discussed. So we said the government and the central banks, they go hand in hand. You said any report from the government has a direct impact on the countries, on that very country or the economy of that country. Why? If let's say the president gives a report, I gave us an example of dollar. You remember dollar was trading at 170 some months back. But just because the president and the deputy president, they came out and announced here in Kenya that the dollar is going to drop because we have paid the Eurobond. And before we realize, just that report from the government caused the dollar to drop from 164, 65 to 129. Now it's just trading 129, 128 to 130. Just one report from the government. Also, central banks. They are the ones who determine what we call exchange rate. They are the ones who control smaller banks by giving them the rate. So they are very powerful. But we said you can avoid the government and the central bank. Why? You have to check every day on a site called forexfactory.com. As a trader, the first thing in the morning, go and check Forex. I will not check that today because it's on our previous videos. You just watch it. Forexfactory.com. You realize that that is where the report of every currency. So if there is a news of a currency that you are trading, you just check time. And because I have not trained you on how to trade the news, avoid it. If there's a news of USD, let's say at 3 p.m., you ensure that you don't trade any pair that any currency that is paired against USD. If there's a news for, let's say, GBP, and you are trading the pound, you ensure that you avoid the market when there is an event of a news. Okay. Then we talk of financial institutions. And I told us financial institutions are the reasons as to why we are learning Forex. Because these people are in the market every day. These bigger banks, they are in the market every day. And one of the ways in which they make money is to ensure that you as a retail trader loses money. So one of their strategies is to trade against you for them to make profit. And that's why 90 to 90, we also say 90 to 95, or sometimes 95 to 99% of retail traders are ideally near loses money every day. Reason being, you are trading against people who are well organized. Imagine you are trading without understanding the impact of the government. Imagine you are trading without understanding that financial institutions are there in the market every day. They control over 70% of the market every single day. So even if all of us as retail traders decide that we are going to buy, we only control about 6% of the market. So even if all of us decide that now we believe this market will buy and we decide to buy, these people, because they control huge funds, they are in position to change that within seconds. They will pump in huge funds and they will cause that market to sell. And that is why I discourage us from relying on the sites that gives you data of traders. We have those sites called, one of them is IG Client Sentiments. So those sites ideally talks about the sentiment of traders. They will tell you like 70% of traders are buying Euro USD, 30% are selling. So you might think that because 70 are buying, let me buy. No, that data also ideally they are used by the financial institutions to ensure that they trap retail traders. So they are also in the business. So for you to make money, you have to align with the financial institutions, or you have to have a system that will also give you an edge in the market. So that when you enter the market, you need a system that out of 10 positions you take, okay, out of 10 trades you take, you need a system that will give you at least 6 plus win. At least you win 6 and you lose about maybe maximum of 4. But every time you win more. Let's say every time you win, let's say you have your account of $100. So every time I win, let's say I win $12. And every time I lose $2. So in the end of the day, I will have ended up with a profit of 12 times 6, Those were 72. 12 times 6 is $72. And I will have a loss of $8. So in the end of the day, I will have a profit of about $64. So you need a system that will give you more wins than losses when you are trading. And that is the only way you can be able to make profit. So financial institutions, as the same, just as I've mentioned, they have a plan to trade against you. So on your end, you also need to have a plan that will help you extract money from the market, or a strategy that will align you to the market makers. That's why I'm encouraging us that if you get to a point of learning the strategy, you will have earned a very, maybe you will have gotten to a point of trading effectively. Just get to the strategy. This is the main reason as to why we are learning. So after the introduction, we will get to the strategy part of Forex. Okay. So I believe all of us will follow us to that point. So that is what we did last time. Our other participants, you will watch. We'll watch them in our YouTube page. I think it was day 3, so you can go and watch that video. So let's go to what we are supposed to cover today, which is, as much as you have all these information, when is the right time to trade in Forex? So okay, so today we are covering when to trade Forex. When to trade Forex. We don't just trade Forex all the time. There are specific times to trade. So here, there are a few things that I'm going to mention. Number one is that Forex market is a 24-hour market. So Forex market is a 24-hour market that operates from Monday to Friday, except for crypto market. So Forex market operates from Monday to Friday. 24 hours. So by 24 hours, it is only the sessions that do interchange. So we have about 5 Forex sessions, but we have 3 main Forex sessions. Okay. So we are going to see the Forex sessions under when to trade. Okay. So we are going to see the 3 main Forex sessions. The 3 main Forex sessions. So 3 main sessions in Forex. Okay. Number 1, we have a session called London. We have a session called the London session. We have a session called New York. And we have a session called, we have London, New York, and Asia. Okay, London, New York, and Asia. These are the 3 main sessions. So Asia is also, sometimes you'll hear of Tokyo Stock Exchange Market, New York Stock Exchange Market, London Stock Exchange Market. So when we see that Forex market is a 24-hour market, it doesn't mean that London market operates for 24 hours, no. Or New York for 24 hours, no. Or Tokyo for 24 hours, no. These sessions, they are aligned in such a way that when one closes, the next one is opening. Or when the other one opens, the other one is closing. Okay? So, like Asia, we always call Asia the beginning of the day. So I'm going to give you the time frame here in Kenya. So that if you are in different time zone, you'll probably do the conversion. So here in Kenya, Asia, take note of this. So we are going to see open and close. So note this, and I will tell you which is the best session to trade and which is not the best session to trade. So Asian session opens here in the country at around 2 a.m. Around 2 a.m. in the morning, and closes around 10 a.m. Okay. Number 2, we have London session. So London session also opens at around Kenyan time at around 10 a.m. So sometimes because of the winter and summer, we have an extension of an hour. It can be 11. So 10 a.m. and closes at 6 p.m. Then the last session, we have the New York session. So those who are in Kenya, you can just do Forex as a way of, just like going to work in the morning. Because in other countries, the sessions that are very active opens when, let's say, if you are in US, you realize that when London opens, it's still at night. But if you are here in Kenya, all the main sessions, London and New York, which we are ideally trading the most, are from 10 a.m., meaning you can trade very, very well here in Kenya than even people in other time zones. So New York here in Kenya, it opens at around 3 p.m., around 3 p.m., and closes at around 11 p.m. So we have said Asian market opens at around 2 a.m. and closes at 10 a.m. London market opens at 10 a.m. Kenyan time and closes at 6 p.m. New York market opens at 3 p.m. and closes at 11 p.m. So all these sessions are not active sessions. We need the sessions that are active. Like now, if you hear somebody telling you that he trades during Asian session, I think the chances that trader is not profitable is quite high because during the Asian session, the market is quite slow. Okay, that's why we don't ideally trade the Asian session. So most of the traps, I told you we have market makers in the market, the big institutions in the market. They usually do traps during the Asian session because during this time, the movement in the market is quite slow. So you as a Kenyan or you are within the time zone of maybe the same time zone as us, avoid the Asian session wherever you are. Avoid trading the Asian session because the movement in the market is quite slow. But now London, which is around 10 a.m. Kenya time, that is the active session. Also New York is the active session. So you can trade both London and New York. Remember, London is the whole of Europe. So you have all the currency. You have Euro, you have Great Britain pound. New York, you have all the US. You have USD, you have Canadian dollar. So that time zone is ideally of major currencies and the currencies that are very, very active. Asia, we only have JPY as an active currency, meaning all the other currencies fall under London and New York. That's why we prefer and we advise in your trading journey. And if you'll be my student as we proceed, we only focus on trading New York and London. But also between these three sessions that I've mentioned, we have other sessions. We have sessions like Frankfurt. We have sessions for like Sydney. Okay. But now we are focusing on these three. So I have a question. Where do you think we have an overlap? Overlap means two sessions still active at the same time. We have said that one session closes and the next one opens. But now we have here where two sessions are running at the same time. Tell me down there on the chat so that I know that we are following and we are together. Tell me that down there on the comment. Let me see if we are here. So hey, people are answering. People are answering. Esther, London and New York. Eben, London and New York. Eben, these I think they are new people and they're answering. London and New York, Kevin, Joshua. And tell me the time. Like Joshua, 3 to 6, London and New York, correct? Victor, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. No, the point, no. Collins Juma, 3 to 6. Which sessions? London and New York thing. Lucy James, London and New York time. London and New York, Ketumwende. Pius Gatege, 3 to 6. London and New York, Tracy, London, New York. Machocho, London and New York. Gloria, 3 to 6. Emilia Buga, London and New York. Magdalene Kabwana, London and New York between 3 and 6, correct. Julius Kioko, London, New York between 3 and 6 p.m. Matuku, London and New York between 3 and 6 p.m. So the very, very active time in the market is when we have the overlap. And we have said the overlap runs between London and New York. So anytime you are trading, your strategy should be maybe a strategy that ideally you trade between these two sessions, the London and New York, because London market is active, New York market is active, but we have the overlap of 3 hours between 3 p.m. when New York opens and 6 p.m. when London closes. So at that time, the London market is active, the New York market is active. That tells you the volatility or in the market is quite high, and it is good for traders to trade, like the movement. Let me use an example. Let's say Kenya shilling is at 130. against $1 is 130. Now, let's take an example of London and New York. When you have an overlap, this price can change from 130 to 135. Because that session, the market is quite active, or if it can even drop from 130 to 120 because of how active. But during Asia, you'll find maybe Kenya shilling, if there's a change, it will be from 130 to probably 130.5. So that's why you, as a trader, always have it in mind that whichever the strategy I'm using, it should lie between London and New York session. How many of us are following and you are getting the concept? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Tracy Ketmunde. Ketmunde, you are very consistent. Doreen, Martin Matugu, Emilia Buga, very consistent. Otundo Dominic, Gracia. Gracia, I've also seen you from the first day. There are people here who are determined. And if you are new, kindly join our YouTube page. The link is there. I think if you are unable to see the link, it will be posted again here in the chat. Go and watch the 3 classes. We have not covered that much. It's just 3 videos. Go and watch those recorded classes. Because after we are done with introduction, we'll just move directly to the next area, then we go to strategy. So make sure that this week you catch up. If you don't catch up this week, you will struggle probably next week. Because after next week, we'll be starting the challenge. So people should open accounts. So if you have not opened an account, make sure that you open an account. The link has been shared in our group. Don't open an account and fund. Don't fund. Just open an account. Be set for the challenge when you get there. We'll tell you more about the challenge. Okay. Challenge is how you now apply everything we have taught you in a real market. We work with you for a month under our guidance and mentorship. Then, after the end of a month, we'll now see if you're at a good point to trade. We'll tell you now you are a good point to trade. You can now engage the market at a personal level. So these are the 3 main sessions. We have said London, New York, and Asia. So those who need an assistance in opening account, you will reach out to me, reach out to Newton, reach out to Brian, the admins. In whichever group you are in, just check one of the admins and contact him. So, let's proceed. Is there any person with a question regarding these sessions? Is there a person with when to trade Forex? So we have realized that the best time to trade Forex is during London, New York, and the overlap between London and New York. We have said we don't trade Asian session because the volume is quite low. The movement in the market is quite slow. That's why when we are doing the Forex trading, we ideally trade the London and New York. I want to show you now the difference in the market. Now that you know how to calculate pips, I want to show you now what is the difference between London and this New York Zito is mentioning here. Unless if you have a question, you can ask. So if you have a question before you proceed, kindly ask. Okay. I want now to share the session and show you practically. What we are covering is quite important because for you to trade effectively, you need to know the session that you do trade. And we have said the best session is London and New York. The 3 main sessions we have London, New York, and Asia or Tokyo. We have said we have an overlap, which is the main session. I started by saying Forex market is a 24-hour market that operates from Monday to Friday. Now you can tell by the time the London market closes, by the time the Asian market closes, London is opening. By the time the London is closing, we still have New York. By the time the New York is closing, we have the Sydney market, which I have not captured here. So you realize that the market is functioning for 24 hours. It's only the sessions that do interchange. And remember, I told you about the market makers or these big financial institutions. They usually take advantage of these sessions. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I believe you can hear me. Thank you so much. Thank you for confirming. Okay. Yes. Is HFM good for a beginner trader? Yes. But now when you open an account, don't trade. Wait until we get there. Don't deposit. Once you open an account, just be set. Just confirm the link for opening the account you have shared in our groups. But don't fund. We have to train you first. Don't want anybody to lose money, then you quit Forex because you didn't have sufficient knowledge. Before you engage the market, we will have guided you on the correct steps to follow. Are we together? To that point, how many have gotten the concept of what we have covered so far in regard to when to trade Forex? Martin, Majimbo, very consistent. Okay. Daniel Kipsang, Milka Wambui, Kevin Kiragu, Juma Naklet, Tracy Wambui, Kate Mwenda. Okay. Gracia, James Njai, Joshua, Shali. Okay. So we have so many of us here who are getting the concept, which is very, very important. How many are yet to get what is happening? If you are new, you've just joined us today and you're wondering what is Mzito saying. What is this man talking about? How many are totally new so that we show you where to start? Kindly don't unmute. You can just type down there on the chat. Kindly don't unmute. Just type down there on the chat or you just lift your hand so that we'll tell you where to start. But in regard to what we have covered, those who are totally new, I think, click the link for the YouTube. Milka Wambui. I think, Brian, you can paste again the link. Those who are not in the YouTube page, go and click that YouTube link and watch the video from day one. Okay, start from day one, day two, and day three. Make sure that you have catch up with us. The good thing is that we started from introduction, so we have not covered that much. Okay, now allow me to proceed and to introduce the last part of introduction to Forex, which is Forex terminologies. I usually say Forex terminologies is quite of an advanced class because so many people engage in Forex without understanding the Forex terminologies. There are things here in Forex that are very, very critical in regard, and they are only covered in Forex terminologies. So there's a person called Samuel Nyaboga. You are asking about sijaelewa what you call marketing pips. I don't know what to do about them, please. So if you are new, we have covered those classes. Just Samuel, click the link below you. Join the YouTube page. You'll realize more about the other things. And what we have not covered in regard to pips, lot sizes, we are going to cover them under Forex terminology. So if there's something that you should be very, very careful, is what we are going to cover now under Forex terminology. Okay? So focus very, very well on what you are going to cover. So let's start. So we are covering the last part of introduction, which is Forex. And make sure you are capturing some notes, terminologies. Terminologies. Sorry. Little terminologies. Okay. Forex terminologies. So number one, they are common terms like any other field. There's a language that is being used in that field. So also in Forex, we have a language that we use in this field. And number one, we'll start with the basic one or the basics one. So number one, we'll start with going long. When you hear somebody saying, I'm long on Euro USD, simply means going long is the same as buying, the same as bullish. So when you hear Euro USD is a very strong bullish market, it simply means is a strong buy market. So you might either hear people talking of going long, buying, bullish, uptrend, still talks of the same thing. Simply means buying, or the market is on an upward movement. So you realize that when the market is moving up in that direction, we call that uptrend. Okay. Number two, we have what we call going short. Going short, which is the same as selling, which is the same as bearish, which is the same as downtrend. Okay, same as downtrend. So when you hear somebody saying that I'm on bearish, maybe Euro JPY is a strong bearish market, simply means it's a strong sell market. These are the common basic terms of that are used in Forex: going long, going short, buying, selling, bullish, bearish, uptrend. So if you hear of such terms, they simply mean going long is buying, going short is ideally selling. How many of us are following? Are we together? Yes, yes. Tracy. Okay. Otundo, Dominic, Milka, Kevin. Okay. Let's proceed. Thank you for that. It's good that we are following. Now, we are going to the next term, which is very, very important. And I think this is where we are going to stop. I'll just introduce it. Then tomorrow, I will be going deeper on the same. So open your eyes. Now we are starting our we are starting Forex. Because after these terms is when we'll now go to MT4 practical. So make sure that you are very, very keen. Download an app called MT4, download an app called MT5. Because I will be doing the practicals of using the same platform probably in the course of the week. So the next terminology or next term, which is very, very powerful, is what we call pips. So there's a person who was asking, what are these pips? Now I'm there. I'm there. So open your eyes because now, if you don't understand pips, then things will be quite difficult. So when we talk of pips, make sure that you follow very, very well. So we always say that pip is the smallest unit of measure available in a currency pair. But because I am just introducing today, I'll just give you an illustration of pips. So in Forex, I will use an example of USD against Kenya shilling. You know that $1 is equivalent to 130 Kenya shillings per now, maybe 130 point something now. But if you go to the bureau tomorrow, you will realize that $1, maybe it has dropped to 128. So within those 2 days or within a day, it has dropped by how many shillings? 2 shillings. So in Forex, we see that change of price movement, we have said it has changed with 2 pips. Let's say it has maybe moved up to 135. It will have moved up by how many pips? 5. That is maybe the simplest way I can explain pips. How many are getting it? Are we following? Are we following? I'm trying to simplify it to ensure that all of us get it. So when you hear of pips in Forex, you don't get stuck. Okay? Higher. Let's proceed. Though I will still cover the same tomorrow. Pips is one of the things that usually confuses a lot of people. And that's why I will still consider recapping the same tomorrow. Okay. So in Forex, when we talk of pips, in most currencies, pip is always to the 4th decimal point. It's usually to the 4th decimal point. So those who used to hate math in school will just like this because I will ensure that I make it simple. The good thing is that you don't have to calculate. There are sites that you can just, there are tools that will help you measure pips. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. So when you say the pip is up to the 4th, we usually say 1 pip is equivalent to 0.0001. That is the 4th decimal point. So an example, Euro USD, let's say you are trading Euro USD. Euro USD has dropped because now you see that it's a slight difference. So Euro USD has dropped from 1.4221. It has moved down to 1.4210. Calculate the number of pips. What you do, very simple. Maybe that market has moved from that point. It has moved with how many pips? You just subtract the larger figure from the smaller figure. 1 minus that is 1. 2 minus that is 1. This is 0. This is 0.0. So instead of doing all that mathematics, you just read this as 11 pips. But if you need mathematics, 1 pip is equals to 0.01. If you want to do math, what of now? You are 0.0011. If you cross multiply, that is now for those who want the long procedure. You will still end up with 11 pips. But if you don't have the procedure, you just read the pips from this side. If it is 11, it is 11 pips. Let me do another example of the same because pips is something that usually confuses a lot of people. Let's say GBPUSD has dropped from maybe has moved up from 1.4120 to 1.4160. Calculate the number of pips. So tell me the number of pips. Ideally, I want to see down there on the chart before I do we go through it again together, but I want to see your answer. If you have not captured the concept, don't worry. Today is the first day we are doing pips. So make sure that you will still attend tomorrow's class because I will be covering the same. Because I want us to complete the session shortly. How many pips are there? Let me hear. Juma Naklet 40, Gloria Mutua 40, Kate Mwende 40, Meto Team 40, Hope Machocho Pius 40. Let me see. Let me see. Meto Team, Gloria Juma Naklet 40, Tracy 40, James 40, Victor Chepkwony, Esther Sherin. Esther, you are very consistent. 40. James Njai 40, Kate Mwenda 20. Okay. Kate Mwende 20, you'll see on that. Collins Juma 40. Okay, let me see. Kevin Kiplimo, Martin Matungu, Willis Muoka. Kindly understand how to calculate pips, because now you will be making profit in pips. Yeah, you will hear somebody saying I've captured 40 pips, or you will see me posting today I've captured 100 pips. What does that mean? If you don't know how to calculate, then it will be quite difficult. Emma Mudhoni, Milka Wambui, 40 pips. So we have just said, just take the higher figure and subtract from the lower figure. So it is 1 point. Let's do it again, because 1 point, sorry, I've said it is 1. Let me confirm that is also being captured on the recording. Okay, it is well. So let's do that math together. Let's do the math together again. So it is 1.4160 subtract 1.4120. Just say you subtract 0 minus 0, 0. 6 minus 2, 4. 0, 0.0. So I've just told you, if you don't want to do a lot of math, just read this as 40 pips. Okay? 40 pips. If you want your math, it's still okay. We have said 1 pip is equivalent to 4th decimal point, 0.001. What of your 0.0040? When you cross multiply, you still end up with 40 pips. But instead of following all that math, you just read it in that simplified form. One more question in regard to the pips. See if you have captured it. Let's say NZD USD maybe has dropped from 1.3160 down to 1.31102. Calculate the number of pips. Calculate the number of pips. Here, I'm sure I'm going to see wonders here. Calculate the number of pips. Remember, pip is to the 4th decimal point. 1 pip equals to 0.0001. Okay, so calculate the number of pips. Let me see. How many people are there? Gloria, 50 pips. Junior, 50 pips. James Ndungu, 50 pips. Martin Mutunga, 50 pips. Dorina Diambo, 50 pips. Emilia Buga, 40 pips. Lucy James, 40 pips. Shali, 50 pips. Martin Majimbo, 50 pips. Julius Kioko, 50. Emma Mudhoni, 5. Magdalene Kabwana, 50. Willis Muoka, 50. Kate, 50. Victor Chepkwony, Leah, 50. Emma Abuga, sorry, 50. Oh, yeah, you mentioned 40, now you have changed to 50, correct? Okay. Deno Book, 502. Pius Gatege, 50 pips. You just do your math and give us what you think is correct from your end. Machocho, 50 pips, plus many others that have not maybe mentioned. Emma, 50. Naklet, 50. Okay? Plus many more other people who maybe have not mentioned. I think the first people. You are typing so fast. Yeah? Let me see. Collins Juma, 50. James Njai, Ken Jr., 50 pips. So let's do the math. We have said pip is to the 4th decimal point. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything past that, if it's below 5, you just ignore. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ignore that one. So you just work with this math. So if you use those That one, the person who got 502. Remember that the pip is to the fourth decimal point. When you subtract, you realize here is 0, here is 5, here is 0, here is 0.0. That equates us or takes us to a 50. That takes us to 50 pips. Yeah, so that is 50 pips. That is how to calculate pips. But now on JPY pairs, we do calculate differently. And tomorrow we'll be doing that. Also, the second point of that I wanted to mention in regard to pips. Tomorrow, I will be showing us how to do a pips calculation from the chart. So tomorrow we'll be observing the market, and you see if the market has moved from this point to this point, how many pips will be doing the practical of the same. Also in the same direction to that, or in hand to that, we'll still be showing you how to measure pips without doing the calculations. There are softwares that will help you do what? There are softwares that will help us calculate pips and calculate them effectively. So if there's a class you shouldn't miss today, I was just introducing pips, because you find there are people who are trading in Forex, but they are not aware what pips really entail. Because if you don't understand pips, it will be quite difficult for you to make profit. Because when I'm getting into the market, you will hear maybe I'm willing to, I've entered the market here. Let me just show you an example of the importance of pips as I conclude. Let's say you have entered the market here. You want the market to buy. But you say, in case the market sells, because that is also, there's a possibility. I want only to lose maybe 10 pips. If it goes against me, I'm willing to lose 10 pips. But in case this market goes according to my speculation, I'm willing to gain 50 pips. Okay, so what I'm willing to lose, there's a term called, we usually call that stop loss. I will be touching on that. Then what you're willing to gain is what we call profit, take profit. Okay, so in Forex, when you learn how to place trades, which I will be showing us from tomorrow, if I'm willing to lose 10 pips to gain 50 pips, so we'll be seeing that in the market. So in case the market goes against me, the only amount I will lose is 10 pips. If it goes in according to my favor, I will gain 50 pips. So after understanding pips, you will also need to understand, how do I now convert these pips into money? Because now maybe I've captured a profit of 50 pips. How much have I gained in dollars in relation to my capital? Or let's say I've lost 10 pips. How much will I have lost in relation to my capital? So where we are is very critical for you as a trader, or for you as a new trader, because you need to understand how to calculate the pips we have just introduced, and now how do you convert these pips into real money? Because we are not interested in pips, we are interested to see how do you convert those pips into profit. To that point, how many are ready for tomorrow's class? If you are ready for tomorrow's class, ready for Tuesday. Just type down there, ready for Tuesday. Those who are ready for Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready for Tuesday, but not Tuesday, the normal ready for Tuesday that you know. Yeah. Yeah, a majority of us are ready for Tuesday, which is okay. So tomorrow's class is very important. We'll now be going deeper on pips to fully understand how do I calculate pips. Then later, we'll be capturing how do I convert those pips into profit. And that will drive us to the next terminology, which is lot size. So lot size is what will you relate with the number of pips that you have captured to know how much you are gaining or how much you are going to lose. So in conclusion, what we have captured today, we have concluded on when to trade Forex. And I believe you will go and watch this video again. Make sure that you go to our YouTube page, everybody from the class of September. I want to see over 50 comments on each video, an indication that all of you are following and we are working together. So if you are my student, make sure that we build the community together. And the best way to do that is that every video you post, apart from just liking the video, comment, how was the class? Did you understood everything that we maybe mentioned in that very class? Very, very important. Also to conclude, we are coming to Meru on Friday. Those in Meru, we are sharing the poster. All of us as Mzito community, let's share that poster. The entrance is ideally free. We'll be capturing things to do with Forex. Those who are new, those who are advanced and still struggle with making profit in Forex, will be giving the guidelines on the same. Also, we have 3 main groups. We have the WhatsApp, we have a WhatsApp main group, Telegram, which is also a main group. And now we created the YouTube channel, which we have started posting with the class of September. You can as well consider joining the same. So to that point, that is where I'm going to stop for today. But I will also wish and ask you to leave a comment. How was the session? If I've been too fast, tell me, Mzito, you have been too fast. If you are new, ask me, Mzito, I have just joined today. Where maybe do I learn? Don't just leave the meeting without leaving a comment so that I will see how many of us are benefiting, what are the challenges, how are you progressing so far. So I want to read the comment of each and every one of us down there. So session has been a success. That is Mutuku Oyosi. Kate, awesome, blessed. Thank you so much. Let me see. Aha, those are ready for Tuesday. Hizi maswali za HFM, what is the average frequency of traders in CFT? Maybe reach us, we help you on how to open an account, Ben. Don't struggle. Just reach out to me, reach out to Newton, reach out to Brian, especially Brian is very much available to help you and Newton. Contact them, reach out to me. I'm also available, I'll help you out. Just book time, then we do it. Collins Juma, very nice. How was the class? Majimbo, awesome. Gatege, amazing. Ketmwende, awesome, be blessed. Matuko has been a success. Martin Mutunga, awesome. Learning more and more. Grateful. Mzito Barikiwa. Thank you so much. Machocho, it was fantastic. I'm catching up. Thank you so much. Kale Bashir, sir, is perfect lesson and informative. Thank you so much. And those who are new, go to the YouTube and watch the previous videos so that you don't float. Magdalene, very good. Kipkemo Lagat, the session was good and understandable. Thank you. Anaklet, amazing. Esther, session today was very interesting and interactive. Thank you so much. Esther, you have also been participating fully. Eben Mwabure, Sawa boss, thanks. Gloria, session has been informative. Asante. Purity Luosi, wonderful. Emma Mudhoni, the session was perfect. Thanks. Emma Mudhoni, you are very consistent also. Milka Wambui, good. Tracy, the session was very good. God bless you for helping us in everything. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Willis Moka, something new learned today about pips. I'm glad. Thank you, Moka. At least you have captured something. As for pips, do we have a negative or positive? What is the translation versus the Kenya shilling? We'll be talking about that tomorrow. But we don't have negative and positive in pips. You know, in Forex, we make money in both directions, buying and selling. I'll be talking more about that tomorrow. Victor Chepkony, awesome. James Ndugu, excellence. Emma Mbuga, you are also very consistent. You must understand this concept. Yeah? Smarter every day. Gracia, class was great. You have also been very consistent. Tabitha Nyambura, you have also been very consistent, good and informative. So thank you so much. Let's meet tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll start a bit early. By 8:35 or 8:40 latest we'll have started. So have a blessed night. Thank you for being patient. At least we have extended for about 20 more minutes to cover on what we never covered. Barikiwe sana. Bye bye.